Hello, I'm Mike, and this is Will. We are the Tabletop Donkeys.
Hello.
And we're bringing you issue 18 of Warhammer 40k Conquest today. No new models this issue. Instead, we've got 2 pots of paint. We've got one of Mephiston Red and another of Rakarth Flesh. We also got a new playmat. The new playmat we'll be using for planet Corvon 2, which the Blade of Novaris has been heading towards this entire time. Well, we'll have to wait until issue 21 before we actually see it in action, so it's something to be excited for. Heading into the issue, we have some background on the Silver Templars themselves. You can see that they apparently specialise in duelling, and they have a 100% codex adherence. And their motto is Focus and Fury. And you see you've got their chapter badge and their organisation. It's pretty much the same as the Ultramarines. They use the same symbols and the same company colours, that sort of thing. And the different helmet and squad markings there. And then we've got some background on all the types of bolt weapons that Space Marines use, including all the bolt rifle the Primaris use. Got some info on the Primaris Hellblasters. And a bit of fiction here about the Silver Templars fighting on Lycius against the Death Guard. And the new painting tutorials. We've got our new paints, so we need to apply them to all our models. So you can see we've got painted the Librarian's robe and the eye lenses for the Marines and some of the cloth on the Death Guard. It's all fairly simple to do at this stage. Should be reasonably good at it by now. And you can see here there's all the painted components. Still missing the painted barrels though. We'll have to wait until issue 20 until we paint those. But we head into our first mission this week, Seas.
And so this is our first mission for this issue. It's called Seas... And the reason it's called Seas... is because on the second mission is ... and clear on the next page. But we'll look at that one when we get to it. Having a look at this first mission very quickly, it's an objective game. We get to place our objectives like we learned how to do in the previous issue. The Death Guard get 3 Plague Marines, the Blight-Hauler and the Biologist Putrefier, and the Space Marines get 5 Intercessors, 2 Hellblasters, and the Primaris Librarian. And there are victory points for the objectives, 1 point for your own objective, only 2 points for the enemy objective in this game, and 1 victory point for destroying an enemy unit. And then we roll off to see who gets to place an objective first, and that person also places their unit down first in deployment and gets the first turn. So another slight variation on that, and then as you can see we've got our 3-inch deployment zones again on both sides of the board, like we did in the last game. No actual new rules as such this week, except we do now have a profile for the Myphitic Blight-Hauler, which is we've got here, finally, despite having had 2 issues where we had to guess its profile from previous things we've learnt, because we haven't actually had this. The new stuff to point out though is that it can now fire crack missiles, which is a missile launcher. It has a choice between frag and crack. Frag missiles are now strength 4 again, so they'll be winning Space Marines on 4s, whereas previously it was on 5s, which was wrong. Yes, and they can also shoot crack missiles, which are strength 8 minus 2 AP and D6 damage, so actually quite useful against Space Marines. And it also has a putrescent fog, which apparently gives off clouds of nasty smoke and stuff, which means that friendly infantry units wholly within 7 inches of it, so every model has to be within 7 inches of it, gain the benefit as though they were in cover, so that gives them possible to their armor save. Doesn't suffer a penalty for moving and firing heavy weapons, because the multi-melter and the missile launcher are both heavy weapons, we now learn that. And it explodes on a roll of 4+ when it goes down, a little bit like the Biologist Putrefier does. It emits a foul stench, which means enemy units have -1 to hit it in melee, which is quite useful, or more likely to make the fight go on even longer. And it also has a 5+ invulnerable save. Now, we don't actually technically know what the invulnerable save is at this point in the magazine. They haven't told us what that means, so we're not going to use it, because to someone coming to this fresh with no knowledge of the game, this being their first experience, that is a meaningless statement, basically, because it has nowhere at this point mentioned that in the magazine. So with that, we're going to move on to the mission, and we're going to roll off to see who gets to place an objective first, and then that player, as I said, also gets to place a unit first and get the first turn. I'll also just show you that, once again, the boxes that we do have at this point in the magazine technically are this one, and so we've put the Storm Bolters on those. And then the middle box we're just using again for scenic effects, because we don't technically have that yet, so it doesn't have the bolters on it. It doesn't actually tell us what to do about this in the mission description, but we're going to go with this because we haven't been told otherwise. So, rolling off to see who gets to place their objective first. Roll a 2. I've rolled a 1. So, Space Marines get to place an objective first and then do everything else first. So, Space Marine objective gone exactly where it was in the last mission down here. And my Death Guard objective, I'm going to put it over here. In fact, I'll move it a little bit that way, so it is more than 6 inches from my board edge and more than 3 inches from that objective. So we're going to have a fight over this bit of the board today.
So for my first deployment, I'm going to put the Hellblasters on my right flank.
And for my first deployment, I'm going to put the Blight-Hauler down here. Once again, they haven't noticed that its base is larger than 3 inches, so it can't technically fit on the board according to the deployment rules. But
for my second deployment, I'm going to put the Librarian just here in the middle.
And for my second choice, I've put Plague Marines down here behind the box.
And for my last deployment, I'm just going to deploy the Intercessors next to the Librarian.
And my final deployment choice is the Biologos Putrefier, who's going to go down here next to the Plague Marines. And then, because the Space Marines won the roll-off, they get to go first, so it's Space Marines, turn 1.
So first things first, the Intercessors are just going to move up a little bit. And the Librarian will follow behind. And then the 2 Hellblasters are actually going to just step behind this box, so they aren't in line of sight. Since they've got no one to shoot at, might as well hide in cover.
So on to Psychic phase.
The Librarian will do Might of Heroes on himself, just in case. He got it with a 10. And he'll put Veil of Time on the Intercessors just in case as well. And he got that with an 8. And they can't see anyone to shoot. I'm not going to declare any charges. That's the end of my turn.
So we're on to Death Guard turn 1. So we're going to move these Plague Marines up onto this box. So the champion gets to about there. So those guys have gone up there. The Biologos Putrefier is just going to come over. And the Blight-Hauler has shuffled over a bit, and it can see through this gap along here, there's a line, and it can see this Intercessor on the end. So on to the shooting phase. We'll start with the Blight-Hauler. It will fire at the Intercessors. We'll start with the Multi-Melter, which hits on a 4, doesn't suffer the penalty for moving and shooting, even though it's a heavy weapon, as discussed earlier in the datasheet, and it missed. We're going to have to fire a Crack Missile, which is the new thing, so this also hits on a 4.
Yeah.
It hit. It's a 5. It wounds on a 2 because it's strength 8. It wounds. It's only got a -2 armour save though, rather
And
than
he's obscured there, I think.
Yeah, so he's obscured, so he'll have +1 armour save for cover, so he's only on 4+ for this,
It's
which
fine.
he made. So the missile wangs off the box. And his other weapon, the Bile Spurt, is a 12-inch range, which is not in range of the one guy that he can see, so won't be firing that. So that's the Blight-Hauler done, and then the Plague Marines are all going to fire at the Intercessors as well. We're going to start with the Blight Launcher. It has 2 shots, hitting 3s, 2 hits, wounding on 3s, rerolling 1s, 2 wounds, -2 AP, and there's no cover from up here.
2 5+ armour saves. Didn't make either of them.
So 2d3, well, d3 damage on the first guy, takes 3, so that's one guy down. And then the second one takes 2, sorry, takes 1. So one guy's on a wound, that'll be him. Do the Champion's Plasma Gun next, 2 shots, not overcharging, 1 hit. Wounding on a 3, it did wound.
So 6+ armour save.
Yep.
Nope.
Nope.
So the guy at the back goes down.
And then the remaining Plague Marine is going to fire the Storm Bolter on the end of the box, which is within 12 inches, so he gets to fire 4 shots with it. His one target is obscured, but he gets 4 shots at him, hitting on 3s, that's 3 hits. Wounding on 4s, 1 wound.
1 2+ armour save. Yep.
Yeah. That's it for shooting for all the Death Guard. Yeah, we're going to declare a charge with the Plague Marines, so the Intercessors get to fire Overwatch at them.
So we've got 6 shots in Overwatch, hitting on 6s. 1 hit. Wounding on a 5. Not a wound.
And it's a 9-inch charge. That's a 7, so they don't get in. But no harm done. That's the end of Death Guard turn 1. We're on to Space Marines turn 2.
So the 2 Hellblasters are going to move out so that they can see the Plague Marines. This Intercessor is just going to move like that. They can all see the Plague Marines, I think.
Yeah.
And then the Librarian can also see. The Librarian's going to stay where he is. Onto the Psychic phase. The Librarian will try to smite your Plague Marines. Gets it with 7. D3 damage. Just 1.
And made by Disgusting Resilience, so it doesn't do anything.
He'll do Might of Heroes on himself. He didn't get it with a 5, needed a 6. Onto the shooting phase. I'll start with the Intercessors. 6 shots hitting on 3s. 5 hits. Wounding on 5s. 2 wounds. 2 4+ armour saves.
3+ because they're all within
yes.
range of the Blight-Hauler, which gives him his cover from his fog. So
3 plus arm saves.
3 plus armor saves. I've made both of them.
The Librarian will fire his pistol. It hit. It didn't wound.
Nope.
And the 2 Hellblasters will overcharge.
Okay.
So 4 shots hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s, because they're within 2 inches of the box. They all hit. Wounding on 3s, because your strength's 5, toughness 5. 2 wounds.
And because I'm in cover, I get a 6 plus armor save for this. Made one of them.
That's 2 damage.
2 damage, so I have to roll 2 Disgusting Resilient, which I've failed. So one guy goes down, and it will be the bolt gun. No charges being declared, so that's it for Space Marines turn 2. We're on to Death Guard turn 2. And first of all, the Plague Marines are going to come down from their box, so it'll be 2 inches down, so they get to move 3 inches once they get onto the other side. Putrefier's just moved around the corner. He can't quite get within 6 inches to throw his grenade at those intercessors. The Blight-Hauler is going to come its many inches all the way over to this corner here, so it'll end up there. And then we're on to the shooting phase. The Plague Marines are going to shoot at the... Yeah, I'm going to shoot at the Hellblasters, I think. We'll start with the Champion's Plasma Gun. We're going to overcharge it this time because it was within 2 inches of some ammo boxes, so it gets to reroll 1s. We've got 1 hit. It wounds on a 2. Oh, it doesn't.
Phew.
The Blight Launcher fired 2 shots, got a 5 and a 2 for hitting, so 1 hit. It wounds on a 3, rerolling 1s. No, that's 2. Ugh, useless.
Wow.
Biologos Putrefier, as we established already, is out of range from his grenade. And so just left with the Blight-Hauler, which is going to fire at the Hellblasters. So we're going to start with the multi-melter. It missed again.
Ooh.
And the crack missile also missed. So
that didn't go as... Or that isn't what I expected to happen.
and yeah, the Bile Spurt is out of range again. Yeah, so actually, we just realised the Bile Spurt is in range of the intercessors, but I didn't declare it was going to shoot at them before I started shooting, so it can't be fired. That's how the rules work. And then in the charge phase, the Plague Marines are going to charge the intercessors.
So I've got 6 shots hitting on 6s.
No hits, no watch. So my charge distance is only 5 inches, but that's enough. And I'm just going to come in like this, making sure we stay more than 3 inches from the Librarian, which we are, so he doesn't get to make a heroic intervention. Then we're going to go on to the fight phase. They're not actually going to pile in, they're going to stay where they are. We'll do the Champion's Power Fist.
Hitting on 4s.
Hitting on 4s, 1 hit. Wounding on a 2. In the box. Hit wounded.
6 plus armor save. Nope.
Nope. D3 damage. 3. So
Take
splats an intercessor.
I'll take the guy to the front.
Okay. And then we'll go with the knife. He hits. He wounds on 4. Rerolling 1s. Because of his knife, he doesn't wound. And I'm not going to consolidate, and because taking the front intercessor, they can't strike back because they're no longer within an inch when it comes to the turn to be selected. So that is the end of Death Guard turn 2. On to Space Marines turn 3.
So the intercessors are just going to stay. They're going to move just a tiny bit to stay an inch away, but be within 2 inches of that ammo box to reroll 1s. And the Librarian's just going to move out a little bit.
Okay.
And the Hellblasters are going to stay where they are.
Okie doke.
Onto the Psychic phase. The Librarian will try to smite your...
Yeah, that's the closest unit.
Come on.
That's a
Got
smite.
9. D3 damage. Big roll. 2 damage.
2 more wounds. I've ignored one of them, so one guy goes down, and funnily enough, it will be the Blight Launcher.
And then he'll try and do Might of Heroes on himself. He got it with a 7.
With a 7.
The intercessors are going to go first. They're going to shoot at your champion. I'll do one guy with the bolt rifle, and then Sarge will throw a crack grenade. So I'll do the bolt rifle first. Hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s, 2 hits, wounding on 5s, 1 wound, 4 plus armor
4
save.
plus armor save, and he's taken a wound, and he's failed his disgusting resilience, so the champion is killed. And I made a mistake actually when I charged. I didn't account for the fact that they should be to stay within 7 inches of the Blight-Hauler. I should have put it in a slightly different position so they didn't get cover on that. Otherwise he would have passed his armor save.
So the Librarian will instead throw his crack grenade at your Biologos Putrefier.
Yep.
So 1 shot, hitting on a 3, rerolling 1s. Phew.
Reroll 1s. There's still a 1. No good.
And then the 2 Hellblasters are also going to shoot at the Biologos Putrefier. And they're going to overcharge. So we've got 4 shots, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s, 3 hits, wounding on 3s, 1, 2 wounds, 2 6 plus armor saves.
No, oh yes, because he's got cover because he is close to the Blight-Hauler. but he failed those, so that's 4 damage. I can do these all at once because it's just one guy. He's ignored 1, so he's down to 1 wound.
And then in the charge phase, the librarian is going to declare a charge in your putrefier.
Okay, he's out of range to shoot him with his pistol.
No, he's definitely in with a 9. So he's going to go like that.
Okay, charge from the intercessors on him as well. 7.
Probably not going to be enough. Well, they can go over those boxes, I suppose.
Yes, they are.
So it will be like...
Back here or something, yeah.
So I'll put him there, and then the other guy's behind him. So the way this works is, if I pick the librarian and he kills the putrefier, even though these guys have no one to fight, they charged, so they can still be picked to fight, which means they can pile in 3 inches towards the Blight-Hauler, and then consolidate 3 inches again into it. He's got 5 attacks because he's got Might of Heroes. Hitting on 3s. 3 hits. Wounding on 4s because he's strength 5. 2 wounds. Yeah, it's AP minus 3, so it's 6 plus armor.
6 plus armor save. I've made one of them, so...
D3 damage.
D3 damage.
3.
Oh, we're going to make all 3 of these disgustingly resilient rolls. No. On a roll of a 4+, he explodes. He does not.
So the librarian gets to consolidate 3 inches, and he can get to here.
Yeah, oh, probably a little bit back, but he basically he can get within an inch with that consolidate. But then, as discussed, the intercessors can pile in 3 inches and consolidate 3 inches, all ways towards the nearest enemy.
So 3 inches will get them to about there.
Yeah.
They'll consolidate into the thingy. It does get to fight back though.
It does. This does bring it into melee, so it gets to attack somebody. We go for the librarian. Hitting on 4s, we've got 2 hits. Wounding on 3s still. No wounds on the librarian. So that is it for the end of Space Marines turn 3. On to Death Guard turn 3. We're not going to fall back because I don't think I can get anywhere where I won't be in danger of being charged from behind a box, so no Overwatch and all that kind of all those shenanigans. So we can just stay in melee and on to the fight phase, and I get to go first. I'm going to attack the librarian again. 3 misses. Good job.
So I'll do the librarian next. So
sitting on 4s because it's -1 to be hit in melee.
Smells very
but
bad.
It smells terrible. Yeah. 1 hit.
Made no difference.
Nope.
Hit. Wounding on a 5. Hits wound. 6 plus.
Nope.
D3 damage. 2.
Disgustingly resilient. Ignore 1 of them, so it's down to 7.
The 2 intercessors, they got 5 attacks, hitting on 4s. 2 hits. Wounding on 5s. No wounds.
So that was a quick Death Guard turn 3. We're on to Space Marines turn 4.
So on my turn, the 2 Hell Blasters are just going to move up to take this objective. And the other 2 squads are going to stay where they are. So onto the Psychic phase. Going to try and smite the Blight-Hauler. Got it with a 5 just. D3 damage. 1.
Haven't ignored it. Down to 6.
And he'll try and do Might of Heroes on himself. He got it with a 7. And it's under the shooting phase.
So 3 pistols, hitting on 3s.
Yeah, so we've got 2 pistols from the intercessors and 1 on the librarian. And they're hitting on 3s because it only smells bad in the fight phase. We've got 2 hits. Wounding on 5s. There's a wound.
And armor save. Oh, I've made that. On to the fight phase.
Yep. So I'll do the librarian first. 5 attacks hitting on 4s. That's better. 4 hits. Wounding on 5s. 2 wounds.
6 plus armor save. Nope.
2d3 damage. 5.
One of these on 5s. I need one of them. So down to 2 wounds on the Blight-Hauler. Then it's my turn to pick. We'll do the Blight-Hauler against the librarian again. It's had much success so far. It's got 1 hit, hitting on 4s. It wounds on a 3. It has wounded. -2 arm penetration.
5 plus armor save. He made it.
Made it. And then you've got the intercessors to do.
5 attacks from the intercessors, hitting on 4s. That's 2 hits. Wounding on 5s. No wounds.
And that'll be it for Space Marine turn 4. On to Death Guard turn 4. I could fall back and just hope Overwatch works, but at this point the game is kind of up anyway, so I'm just going to stay in melee and try attacking because it's not really going to make any difference at this point. So we'll just try and eat the librarian again. Oh, he's got 3 hits this time.
Got his eye in.
Yeah.
Wounding on 3s.
On 3s.
Oh, 1 wound.
1 wound. And a 5 plus armor save.
Didn't make it.
Haven't made it.
Librarian goes down to 4 wounds.
Yeah, it's only 1 damage.
So I'll do the librarian first. Hitting on 4s. 3 hits. Wounding on 5s. 1 wound. 6 plus armor save.
Nope.
D3 damage. 3.
We'll ignore most of these. I haven't. He's got 2 wounds left, so he goes down, but he explodes on a roll of a 4+. It's not going to make any difference to the outcome of the game. It does.
So they all take a mortal wound. Both units take a mortal wound.
Yes.
So the brain goes down to 3, and one of the intercessors takes a wound.
And this is gone. So that leaves the Space Marines obviously in command of the objectives. Victory points irrelevant because they wiped out the Death Guard. That was our first game, and we're going to go on to our second one. This is our second mission for this issue. It's called And Clear. And the Space Marines are trying to completely scour the Death Guard from the decks, apparently. After all this time, they finally figured out that they just need to get rid of the Death Guard, apparently. And so the way this works is, well, as you'll see on the deployment map, we have deployment zone in the corners this time, which is a new development. So it's 7 inches up from each corner and then a line across the middle to form a kind of triangle. The units that we have, the Death Guard have 3 Plague Marines, 12 Poxwalkers and the Foul Blight Spawn. The Space Marines have 5 Intercessors, 2 Hellblasters, and Lieutenant Calcius is back. Hooray, we haven't seen him in a while. The objectives are that the Space Marines have to wipe out the Death Guard. The Death Guard have to not be wiped out, and they've got 6 battle rounds to hold out. That's all there is to be said, apart from that the Death Guard deploy first and the Space Marines get to go first. So we're going to deploy, and then we'll come back and start with Space Marines turn 1. And here we are, my Death Guard have deployed within their 7-inch triangle, and you can see it's quite tightly packed. In fact, it was a bit of a challenge to even fit all these models within a 7-inch triangle. It sounds big, but it's not when you do it. So I think I've managed to get all of the Plague Marines behind the box, so they can't be seen by the Space Marines. And then the Poxwalkers, it's basically impossible for me to keep the Poxwalkers out of sight, because the Space Marine deployment is over here, and with the Intercessors starting that far up the board, they've got a clear line of sight to the Poxwalkers on the end. And then you've got the Hellblasters on their right flank and Lieutenant Calcius in the middle. So the Space Marines get to go first, so we're going to go on to Space Marines turn 1.
So first things first, the Intercessors are just going to move up a little bit so they can all see a Poxwalker. And the 2 Hellblasters are just going to move up behind this box, probably squeeze them on a bit. And then Calcius will just move up.
Yeah, so slight adjustment there. Intercessors have let Calcius into the group there, so he can't be shot at if I'm clever with my position.
Plague Marines come around the corner. So we're just going to be a quick shooting phase. There's only going to be 4 shots from the Intercessors on the Poxwalkers.
Yeah, none of them in rapid fire range, and the one at the back can't see.
Yeah, so hitting on 3s, 3 hits. Wounding on 3s, rerolling 1s because of Calcius's aura. There's 2 wounds.
Disgustingly resilient. I have failed both, so 2 Poxwalkers go down. And take away the 2 at the back. Like that.
Too far away to charge.
Yeah, obviously no charges. It's the end of shooting for the Space Marines, so we're on to Death Guard turn 1. Starting off, the Foul Blight Spawn, another person we haven't seen for a while, is going to advance, because if he rolls more than 1, he'll get within 9 inches for his Plague Sprayer, I think it's called. That's a 5, so that's enough inches to get him within Plague Sprayer range. And he's moved to there, just within 9 inches of those Intercessors. Plague Marines are going to move up next, just their 5 inches. That gets... The Poxwalkers are going to advance as well. Oh, they've rolled a 5 as well, so they get to go 9 inches. So that's the finished move of the Poxwalkers. They've moved up to form a kind of screen around the Foul Blight Spawn, who is now going to shoot his Plague Sprayer in the shooting phase at the Intercessors, who are within 9 inches. So the first thing we do for this is we roll 2d6 to determine its strength. 3. Okay. And then it has d6 automatic hits. 6, well that's a bit better.
It still does 3 damage though. So it's winning on 5.
It's winning on 5, 3 rolling 1s. We have 2 so far and 2 1s. We have 4.
There we go.
4 wounds, and it's at minus 3 AP.
6 plus armor saves.
6 plus armor saves.
Yeah.
No, so 4 Intercessors get melted with acidic goop. And the Plague Marines, well, the only target they can shoot at is Sarge over there, because Calcius is a character and he's further away, and they can't see the Hellblaster behind the box. So we're going to do the Blight Launcher first. It has 2 shots. 1 hit, hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s, rolling 1s, that's a wound. 5 plus armor save. D3 damage. 3, so Blight. No charges to declare, so that means we're on to Space Marines turn 2. Space Marines have moved up.
Yeah, Cassie's just moved up the open. It's very risky, but I mean, I lost my entire squad of intercessors, so I'm going to have to take risks. And the 2 Hellblasters are now close enough to that box to get the reroll 1s.
Yeah, and they can see the Plague Marines over through the massive Poxwalkers if you're going to shoot them.
Yeah. So, shooting phase. The 2 Hellblasters are going to overcharge and shoot at your Plague Marines.
Okay.
So we've got 4 shots. Hitting on 3s, you're rolling 1s.
You'll hit.
And you'll hit, and I did say overcharged, yeah.
Yeah.
Wounding on 3s, you're rolling 1s. Oh, 2 wounds. No armor save.
No armor save. So that was the first Disgustingly Resilient, so 1 guy dies. Second one, 1 guy dies. We're going to lose the 2 guys who aren't the champion.
Yeah, so they have to
Like
make a morale test. Calcius will throw a frag grenade at the Poxwalkers. D6 shots. 6. Hitting on 3s.
3 hits.
Wounding on 4s, rolling 1s. Go on, Bennett. 1 wound.
Disgustingly Resilient. Failed. So we'll take Poxwalker from the back. And charge phase.
Yeah, Calcius will declare a charge at the Poxwalkers only.
Yep, no Overwatch.
Definitely in.
Yep.
So he'll get to there.
Yep.
And then in the fight phase he'll pile in. So he'll
Yeah.
be within an inch of the Fell Blight spawn.
Yeah, well, we did sort of fudge that slightly, but we did measure it before. He can definitely get within an inch. Okay.
So you've got 4 attacks hitting on 2s.
3 hits. Rolling on 3s.
3s are rolling 1s. 3 wounds.
Disgustingly Resilient. Nope. 3 Poxwalkers go down. Do it back. Poxwalkers have piled in slightly. There are 6 of them, so they get 2 attacks each. 12 attacks hitting on 5s. 4 hits. Perfectly average. Wounding on 5s. 1.
3 plus armor save. He made it.
And then the Foul Blight Spawn gets to hit as well. He has 3 attacks hitting on 3s. 2 hits. Wounding on 4s. No, and he doesn't have a Plague Knife, so he doesn't get to reroll those ones. With that, we're on to Death Guard, turn 2. In the movement phase, the Foul Blight Spawns are going to fall back to over there. The Plague Marine Champion is going to move up his 5 to over here, getting him within 2 inches of the box to reroll 1s to hit. So, on to the shooting phase. The Plague Marine Champion is going to fire his Plasma Gun overcharged at the Hellblasters. 2 shots, 1 hit. It wounds on 2. It does. You get a 5 plus armor save because you have cover, but if you roll a 6, you take a mortal wound because you were near the barrel.
I saved.
You rolled a 5, a perfect result.
Best possible outcome.
Foul Blight Spawn fell back, so he can't shoot. So, on to the fight phase. The Poxwalkers are going to pile in. This one's going to come over the box. Like that. They will pile in. 12 attacks on counter, hitting on 5. We've got 3 hits this time. Wounding on 5s. 2 wounds. 3 plus armor saves. And he's taken a wound.
Down to 4. And Cassius gets to fight back. 4 attacks hitting on 2s.
3 hits.
Wounding on 3s, rolling 1s. 2 wounds.
2 Disgustingly Resilient. Nope. 2 more Poxwalkers go down. That one. And that one. That is the end of Death Guard turn 2, so we're on to Space Marines turn 3. So the Hellblasters have moved up there, and the closer one is closer to the Foul Blight Spawn than he is to the Plague Marine.
This one is closer to the Fell Blight spawn, so we can shoot at him.
So we can shoot at him.
And Cassius is going to stay where he is and stay in combat. So, on to the shooting phase. So, starting with the Hellblasters. This Hellblaster is going to fire his Plasma Incinerator at the Foul Blight Spawn. The other guy's going to frag grenade. He's going to fire his Bolt Pistol at the...
Yes, because you don't want to kill him.
Yeah, I don't actually want to kill him. I want to charge him so I can pile in to get the Foul Blight Spawn into melee. So I'll do the pistol first. Hit. Please don't kill him. Wounded.
Yeah, armor save. I've made my armor save.
And then the other guy is going to be overcharging his Plasma Incinerator.
Yep.
So hitting on 3s. Ugh.
2 2s. No.
And then Cassius has his Bolt Pistol. It hit with a 5. It wounded.
Disgustingly Resilient. Nope, another Poxwalker goes down. It might actually mean I can't keep him stuck in combat anymore. Probably it's true, so yeah, take him away.
Hellblasters are going to declare a charge at him only.
Okay, yep, so he will Overwatch. He's going to overcharge his Plasma Gun.
Okay.
Oh!
Oh dear.
Oh, okay. Wounding on 2s. Oh, there's a 1 to wound. So your plan is going to come off.
Plus. Ooh.
No, so I do manage to kill one. But then your charge move while you're in. You can rob it.
Yeah, I'm in.
7. You get. So you have to stay an inch away from him, but you can get to about there.
But then they charge, so they fight first, so he'll pile in like that.
Now, I mean, technically, he doesn't count as charging because the Foul Blight Spawn has his disgusting stench, but
it's my turn.
It is your turn.
So I'll pick him to
so
fight
you pick
first.
him to fight first and pile in like that.
Yep. 2 attacks from the Hellblaster on the Plague Marine. Hitting on 3s, you got a hit. Wounding on 5s, nope. Rerolling 1s because Calcius.
Yep.
It's a wound.
Here's a wound.
Go on, punch him to death.
Arm save? No, it's fine. But because he didn't count as charging, it does mean I get to pick next, and I'm going to pick Poxwalkers and see if I can do some damage to Calcius before they all get taken out. So 6 attacks, hitting on 5s. 1 hit. Wounding on a 5. Nope.
Calcius gets to fight back. 4 attacks, hitting on 2s. They all hit. Wounding on 3s, you're rolling 1s. Good thing you can reroll 1s. 3 wounds.
Disgustingly resilient. I've made 1, so 2 more Poxwalkers died. That's those ones. And then it's my final pick, which will be the champion with his Power Fist.
Hellblaster just needs to survive a turn in melee.
So 2 attacks hitting on 4s, 1 hit, it wounds on a 2. It does.
6 plus. Nope.
No. D3 damage. Oh no, only 1.
Phew.
And then the Foul Blight Spawn himself has 3 attacks. He's got 1 hit. He wounds on 4.
3 plus, come on. Yes.
Yeah, oh, that's really important because he's now stuck in melee as we go on to Death Guard turn 3. Having thought long and hard about where to move my guys, the Foul Blight Spawn is going to fall back to there. The Plague Marine champion is going to stay in melee, as is the Poxwalker. And then we're on to the shooting phase where nothing happens, and on to the fight phase where we're going to go with the Poxwalker first, who hits on 5s. 1 hit, wounds on a 5. Oh, it does.
3 plus armor save.
Ha!
Got a wound.
Take that.
Big Hellblaster. 2 attacks, hitting on 3s. 2 hits. Wounding on 5s, you're rolling 1s. Come on. No.
No damage. Power Fist, 2 attacks hitting on 4s. Oh no, that's really important that he hit. And then Calcius gets to kill the Poxwalker.
4 attacks hitting on 2s. 3 hits, wounding on 3s, you're rolling 1s, 3 wounds. Go on, roll all 5s.
Yeah, no. Poxwalker goes down. Calcius gets to consolidate if you want, 3 inches.
Yes, he'll consolidate 3 inches.
Yeah,
He'll be like that.
Can't go.
The Hellblaster has done his job. He's just going to fall back
Alright, making the Foul Blight Spawn closest target.
into the corner. And Calcius obviously going to stay where he is. In the shooting phase, the Hellblaster is going to shoot at the Foul Blight Spawn. Not overcharging, because he has -1 to hit for falling back. So 2 shots hitting on 4s, 2 hits. Wounding on 3s, rolling 1s. 1 wound. No armor save.
No armor save, so just disgustingly resilient. I haven't made that, so he's down to 3.
And Calcius is not going to fire his pistol at the Plague Marine, because then he wouldn't be able to pile in the fight phase. So, in the fight phase, Calcius is going to pile in, like that. Calcius is going to put all of his attacks onto the Plague Champion. 4 attacks, hitting on 2s. They all hit. Wounding on 5s, you're rolling 1s. No wounds. That's bad.
The Plague Champion will hit back. He hits on 4s. He's got 1 hit. It wounds on 2. It does.
6 plus armor save. Nope. D3 damage.
D3 damage. Hey, 3.
Calcius goes down.
Yeah. Well, that makes up for
Yeah.
2 turns of dreadful rolling in melee.
I think that's going to be game, I think.
Quite possibly. He can consolidate, and he might as well consolidate into that Hellblaster.
So the Hellblaster gets to fight back.
He does.
2 attacks hitting on 3s. Wounding on 5s.
We've got a wound.
Revenge.
Oh, well, does it actually kill him? No, it doesn't. That's what we're looking at after Space Marine's turn 3, onto Death Guard turn 3. First thing we're going to do is the champion is going to fall back now. It was completely pointless of me to consolidate into him because it's my turn.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I don't know why I did that. I just got overexcited. Anyway, he's going to fall back, and then this guy is not going to move, and he's going to shoot his Plague Sprayer at the remaining Hellblaster. So we roll 2d6 for the strength. 4.
Ooh.
Still not very good at this.
Shots.
Number of auto hits.
4.
4.
Wounding on 4s.
Wounding on 4s, rerolling 1s. Oh, 2 but rerolling 1s.
Yes.
So 3 wounds.
3 6 plus armor saves. Gonna make them all.
Triple 6?
No.
So he does get sprayed. And so the Death Guard have managed to survive for 3 whole battle rounds. They had to survive for 6. Not sure how. I think this game would be likely to be over by 6 battle rounds, as it is just here. So Death Guard victory. We're going to recap this issue's missions for you in just a second. So there we have the missions from issue 18 of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest. What are your thoughts about all of that?
Well, in the first mission, I think the main turning point is when you advanced and then an entire turn of shooting that didn't do anything, and I was able to counterattack.
Yeah, that didn't help.
It counterattack into your putrefier and then pile into the Blight-Hauler. And in the second game, it was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. I think mainly if your Poxhogger screen was a little bit further ahead of the Foul Blight spawn, I think you'd have taken that game quite quickly, considering how quickly you took out most of by taking out all the intercessors.
Yeah, that first shot with the Plague Sprayer was very effective. Despite me only rolling strength 3, it still managed to take out 4 intercessors. And then, yeah, as you say, I made a slight mistake, but I didn't even think of it. It didn't even occur to me, to be honest. So good thinking good spotting on your part to, well, almost managed to turn it around, to be honest, actually. I think that game actually came down to Calcius failing to kill the Plague Champion in that melee, because if he killed him, then Lightspawn would have just been stuck in melee with him for the rest of the game.
I think the second game is actually, unless the Plague Marine player sits directly in the corner, it's probably a bit hard for the Space Marines, because the Foul Blight spawn can basically just hide behind the box and pounce.
Yes, exactly. The fact that he can advance and shoot with his assault weapon, which automatically hits, means that you do have to be careful, because he's got quite a long striking range. As we've seen from him before, if he rolls badly for his number of hits with his Plague Sprayer, then actually that can backfire a bit. Yeah, we have played that mission before where I have just hidden in my corner behind the box, and I think I lost that for the simple reason that you came up behind the box, charged round the box without any overwatch, and I was then stuck in a corner, and so you just gradually chopped your way through all my units. But yeah, the first game, as you say, I think my shooting was quite poor. I killed 2 intercessors, I think, with the Plague Marines, and then didn't do much else after that. The Blight-Hauler, I don't think it did anything at all in the whole game.
It hit once with its crack missile, which I'd saved against.
That's right, yes, because you had cover from a box, and it just bounced off the box, and that's all it did. Its new rules didn't really come into play. The cover bonus that it provides, I don't think it actually helped me make any armour saves. Or maybe it did 1 or 2, but not a big deal. It's obviously better when you have more infantry units to shelter in it.
And it's -1 to hit in melee. I guess it is useful, but I think you might have been better off trying to run away with it and just hoping you could overwatch.
You're probably right. I think by the point when I just had the Blight-Hauler left, I'd sort of half given up, to be honest. I couldn't possibly win the game from that point, so I just thought, well, I'll just try and see what I can do in melee. And the Biolog's Putrefier did nothing at all, because he didn't get his grenade in range. After a good showing last game, demonstrated that if he doesn't do what his one use, then he's useless. Just got killed and provided a springboard for you to get into the Blight-Hauler. I think one thing I need to work on actually is positioning of units relative to one another, because piling in and on a board this size,
and especially with units like the Blight-Hauler and the Foul Blight spawn,
yeah,
you can completely just take them out for an entire turn of shooting.
Units that need to be able to shoot have to be kept a decent distance away. A canny charge can really sort of mess up those units because they're completely useless in melee. Hellblasters again didn't quite live up to their promise.
Well, I mean, there's a couple of times, I could have killed your Foul Blight spawn with that one Hellblaster. Technically could have done enough damage, but again, they always seem to do slightly less than you'd hope they would do. Now, one thing we realised we should have been doing is that since they're overcharging, you should roll them separately, because if one of them explodes, if you roll 4 dice and get 2 1s, it could be that they both explode or only one of them explodes.
Yeah.
So we should do them separately, technically.
Yeah, and speaking of things we forgot Death of the False Emperor for most of that game again. I did remember late on in the second game, but I didn't roll a 6 to hit after that point.
I don't think you rolled any 6s to hit in melee.
I don't think I did. Again, if I did, I'm sorry. I don't think it would have affected the outcome very much. I might remember it next issue, because I think we actually get told how it works soon.
Oh, possibly.
I think we actually get it drawn to our attention in the rules.
Maybe that be. And you'll get a decent melee character as well, so you'll want to remember it.
Yes, because one thing I'm lacking is actually decent melee, because the Power Fist, as we saw in that second game, if he rolls 2 things that are not 4s to hit, then he doesn't do anything. Anyway, so I think that's all there is to say for this issue of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest. If you enjoyed this video, then please do give it a like, and leave any comments you have if you think of things we could have done better, or whatever, or anything else you have to say. And consider subscribing to the channel to keep up to date with the latest of these, which come out regularly. But For now, we've been the Tabletop Donkeys, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.